The mentally insane girl wants my boyfriend. My boyfriend Jake works at a phone repair shop, and 4 months ago they hired this girl named Bridget. He mentioned her once or twice at first, just normal coworker stuff. Then one night he came home and said she had a breakdown in the back room about her medication not working. He stayed late to help her close because she was too shaky to count the register. Here's the thing about Jake. His best friend in high school died by suicide and he never got over it. So when someone tells him they're struggling, he physically cannot walk away. I get it, but I told him to be careful. Bridget started texting him. Work stuff at first, then memes late at night, then long paragraphs about how nobody understood her. Jake would show me and ask what to say. I told him he didn't need to respond to everything, but he said if he ignored her and something happened, he'd never forgive himself. She started asking him to hang out outside work, coffee before shifts, thrift stores on weekends. He always said no, but she'd ask again the next week like she forgot. One night she texted at 1 in the morning saying she felt completely alone and didn't see the point anymore. Jake got out of bed and called her, talked her down for an hour. I told him the next morning this was too much and he wasn't her therapist. He said what was he supposed to do? Ignore her and have her death on his conscience. She started showing up at the shop on her days off, bringing him coffee and snacks. His coworker Trevor said it was weird and she was clearly into him. Jake said she was just lonely. Then I saw her Instagram stories. Really vague posts like finally found someone who gets me with sad songs. Jake didn't follow her, so I had to show him. He looked uncomfortable but said she probably posts stuff like that about everyone. I told him she definitely did not. He agreed to talk to her. He told her he had a girlfriend and wasn't interested beyond being coworkers. She cried and said he was misunderstanding her and now she felt humiliated. Jake felt terrible and apologized. That's when I realized she knew exactly what she was doing. She stopped texting but started emailing him these multi-page letters about her trauma and how his kindness changed her life. Jake didn't respond but didn't block her either because he thought that would be cruel. 2 weeks ago, I picked him up from work early. Bridget was there on her day off, standing really close to him with her hand on his arm. When she saw me, she stepped back fast and her face changed. She looked at me like I'd interrupted something private. Jake introduced me as his girlfriend, and she just said, "Oh, right," and left. In the car, he admitted she'd been saying things like, "We understand each other on a different level." He said he'd talk to his manager Monday. That Saturday, someone knocked on our door. Bridget was standing there holding brownies. She said she wanted to apologize for being awkward. I asked how she knew where we lived. She said Jake mentioned the complex once. He absolutely had not. I took the brownies and closed the door. When Jake came out of the shower and I told him his face went white. Monday, he went to his manager with everything. They called Bridget in and she had a complete meltdown saying Jake had been flirting with her for months, and I was keeping them apart. They transferred her to another location immediately. 2 days later, someone tried to log into Jake's Instagram and Apple ID. He changed his passwords. Then he got an email from her saying she knew they were meant to be together, and I had manipulated him, and she'd been patient long enough. We went to the police. The cop said it wasn't quite enough for a restraining order yet. 3 days later, Bridget showed up at the shop at closing. She started yelling about how he led her on and ruined her life. Trevor recorded it. She's sobbing, saying we were supposed to be together. "You told me I was special." Jake kept saying, "I never said that. You need to leave." She tried to grab his hands, and when he backed away, she collapsed on the floor crying. Police took her to the hospital. We went back to the station with the video. The officer said this was enough now. At the restraining order hearing, Bridget's mom showed up crying. She said Bridget stopped taking her medication 4 months ago, right when she started the job. She'd been lying about therapy. Her mom said Bridget had erotomania, which makes people believe someone is in love with them when they're not. She said this happened before in college. The judge granted the order. Bridget just stared at Jake with no expression.